Now let's talk a little bit about how we can customize Xcode to the way we like it. Xcode gives you options galore. I'm guessing that you won't change any of them until you have a bit more programming experience under your belt. But a few options are actually worth thinking about now. With Xcode open, choose Xcode Preferences. Then click General. As you can see, you have options for auto-saving, always, never, or to be prompt for auto-saving. I prefer to have my project saved automatically. Click the Behaviors tab at the top of the Preference window to show the Behaviors pane. Here we can select many different conditions that occur, such as when run generates output. We can then choose what happens when run generates output. Does it play a sound, speak an announcement, etc.? Most particularly, we can decide whether to show or hide the debug area, or if there's no output, to hide the debug area. I prefer to show it. In fact, you can change many options in the Behaviors pane. Too many to cover here, but I think you get the idea. Next, let's visit the Documentation tab at the top of the Preferences window. Here, we want to make sure that we select the option to check for and install updates automatically, and it's already checked. We may also want to click the Check and Install Now button. This step ensures that the documentation remains up to date and allows you to load and access other documentation as well. For example, if you know the URL of a particular set of documentation, you can add the documentation set by clicking this plus button and entering the doc feed URL or the URL of the website. Now let's visit the text editing pane of the preferences. Here we can set a lot of options that are useful, such as showing line numbers. Having line numbers visible in the editor pane is very useful when debugging. I showed you code folding earlier. You can turn on or off the code folding ribbon. You can also adjust the code completion options to suggest completions while typing and to automatically insert a closing brace. Finally, you can even set the fonts and colors for the source editor and the console, which I talk about later in debugging. You can also come here to see what the colors mean. Obviously, green are comments, red are strings, blue are characters and numbers, purple are keywords, and so on.